So he says hello. These guys are generally very clean guys as much as possible, so he holds that in as long as possible so he can relieve himself after he gets out, just like us taking long trips in the car. So anyhow, Friday was his 3rd anniversary with Bird TLC. He was found outside of Soldotna with a broken wing. And he came to us from a veterinarian down there, because most veterinarians do not know how to deal with avians as far as medical care and things like that. And we took x-rays of him and determined that he needed to have a stainless steel pin placed in his bone to help him with his wing. So he did that, but along the way, the bone shifted just a little bit. So the wing's just a little bit out of degree to like it's supposed to be. So he can still fly, but he can't fly well enough to hunt well. And you can't go back in and re-break them and reset them because their bones are hollow. It's like trying to straighten out a pretzel. It just won't work, you know. So we determined he'd be best used in our education program, and here he is. We go all over the state. We go from the North Slope down to Homer and places in between. We're required to by U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Alaska Department of Fish and Game to do 12 presentations a year. Last year he did 60. This year we took a little bit of a break. We only did 48. So this is number 48. So and that's for the reason why we have them in captivity is education. For you to be able to see these guys that you don't normally get to see that's in your backyard and learn a lot more about them and appreciate them a lot more. And now all along I've been saying he. So he's a he. And the way I can tell that, and I do a lot of elementary schools, and I can talk about how to tell the sex of a bird in elementary school. So that's how complicated it can be. When they first get their mature coloration. This dark barring here, both the males and the females have it all over their necks, their bodies, their backs, their legs, and like that, okay? Every year they molt. Just all birds molt, so they get new feathers and fresh feathers and like that. The guys get whiter and whiter. The girls keep their coloration. They stay that dark coloration all their life. You'll see in that picture she's looking at right there, that's a female that Cindy's holding on to there. You can see the drastic difference in coloration between the two. He was about 3 or 4, she was about 16 or 17, so yeah, quite a bit of difference. Another way is size. Birds of prey, female birds are always larger. Okay? When it comes to snowy owls, it's about 1/5 larger in size. He weighs 3.5 pounds. She's going to weigh about 4.5, 5 pounds. He's got a 52-inch wingspan. She's going to have about a 57, up to a 57-inch wingspan. He's about 27 inches tall. She's going to be 28, 29 inches tall, like that. So about 1/5 larger in size and weight. So that's 2 ways, colors and size. Third way, DNA testing. That's it. They won't tell us, so we got to test their blood to find out. Now, when he first came to us, he was dark enough we didn't know. Okay, he had been injured, found on the side of the road, so we didn't know when he ate last, so we couldn't go by weight. So we didn't know what he was. Well, we didn't. Okay, we didn't know what he was, so we could have put him in either or, you know. So he went through a molt, got lighter, then we knew. Yeah, so then we knew. So we knew he was a guy, and each year he's getting lighter and lighter as far as coloration. He's getting heavier and heavier in weight, though, like some of us. But yeah. Their normal range is wherever there's Arctic tundra. That's where they love to live, is in Arctic tundra, okay? So north of here, like north of Fairbanks, circumpolar around the whole top of the earth. So not just Alaska, Canada, Russia, Scandinavia, like that. Wherever there's Arctic tundra, that's where they love to be. That's where they're going to nest at during the springtime, and like that's going to be the Arctic tundra. They love to eat lemmings. If you don't know what a lemming is, it's a glorified hairy mouse that you'll find in tundra areas, the native rodent of tundra area. He loves lemmings and would eat nothing but lemmings if he could. He hasn't had lemmings in captivity but once, and believe it or not, where did we get them from? The Russian Jack Greenery. What the heck they were doing there, we don't know, but they caught 4 and gave them to us, and he went hog wild because he hadn't seen them in a couple. Yeah, he wants some more now, don't you? Sorry. We did them all in out there, just thought they only had 4. And he really went wild over them, you know, so. But he's in captivity now, and there's not a commercial source for lemmings. But there is for mice and rats and quail and stuff like that. So now his normal diet is mice. He eats about 7 large mice a day.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. It costs about $2,200 a year to feed this guy. You know, so he's an eater. He's an eating machine, and the reason behind it is for energy, to stay warm. He needs that for heating like that. He's built to live in the Arctic that withstand freezing temperatures up to 48 below zero. He nests on the ground. No trees in the tundra. He's got to nest somewhere. Nest on the ground, and it gets pretty cold. So he needs that energy to stay warm. He's built for it. All this here is no pigmentation. None. No pigmentation. Full of air. Okay, so that's insulation. He's got feathers that cover his beak. I'm being a clown today. It covers his beak and his nares, or his nostrils, okay? Now, if you're out in the cold, it's below freezing, and you're running and you're trying to breathe through your nose, what happens? You get brain freeze, right? That's why his feathers cover his nares to help warm that air up, you know, so he doesn't get brain freeze. Those same feathers run all the way down to his talons or his toes, help keep his feet warm. He nests on the ground. They are also very sensitive. It's like you don't know me and I grab your feet, it's going to be ticklish, and, you know, whatever. But it's very ticklish to him because they're sensitive. So that way when he grabs his prey, which usually he kills when he first grabs them, but it doesn't always happen, he can tell through the sensors in his feet if it's still alive and moving or whatever. It also protects his feet if that prey turns around and tries to bite him on the feet. The pads on the bottom of his feet, which you won't see today because he won't let me turn them upside down, are a little bit thicker so that way he can withstand that cold and everything. Very aggressive bird when it comes to protecting the nest. Okay, they'll do anything, give up their life.